Hi, everyone. Welcome to Fashion 9. I'm so excited that you're all in this class. I think we have a pretty big class, so that's amazing. I'm actually super under the weather right now, so I thought it'd be a good idea for me to technically not totally miss the first day of class, and make this video for you guys and kind of go through the class, go through our assignments this week, go through the syllabus, let's kind of talk about how the flow of the class will be. And then I will see you guys next week when I'm feeling better and I won't get anybody sick. So bear with me. Hopefully I can make this in about an hour-ish. I think you guys have someone there with you that is going to be showing the video, taking attendance, passing out the syllabus, which is amazing. Make sure you stay for attendance because it's really important that you're here, and they're going to send me that. And I will keep track of attendance just so I know who's showing up and who's really taking initiative to be in class. So let's get started. I won't keep you waiting any longer. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay, so I think I kind of forgot to say that hi, I am Cami or Camila, or Mrs. Smith, whatever you feel most comfortable calling me. Most people call me Cami just because it's super easy to say. A lot of people have a hard time saying my first name, Camila. But whatever is easiest for you, you can call me by that. So this is Fashion 9 clothing selection. This class is completely in person. This will be actually my first time teaching in person here at Long Beach City. I've been teaching here for 2 years, but I got hired in the pandemic. So I actually haven't taught in class. So I'm really excited to be on campus and just working together with you guys because I think it'll be really fun. Okay, so this class is Thursdays from 9:35 to 12:45. I know that's a kind of a longer class period, but there's a lot of material to cover in this class. We'll always have a little break halfway through. And then I will try to reserve the last maybe 30-40 minutes of class to kind of get started on some of the work so that you guys don't feel super bogged down. There's quite a bit of homework and assignments in this class, to kind of get started on that. And so you guys can ask questions, or if you don't understand something, I can go over something again. That way, when you do go home or the library or whatever, you're not totally like, oh my gosh, I should have asked a question. I didn't get started on this in time or whatever. So we will kind of have kind of a lab portion to the class, which is really kind of diving into the assignments, getting started in class so that you guys can ask questions, and you won't have as much work to do when you go home. So this class runs from today until the 14th of December. So every Thursday, I believe we only have one Thursday off, which is the fall break, Thanksgiving. So plan to be here every Thursday. Obviously, life happens, things happen. If you ever know in advance that you can't make a class, always email me, communicate with me, and we can kind of set up. I can either send you what we're doing that day, or we can set up, a time for you to turn in something or whatnot. So, or we can set up a Zoom call and I can go over certain things. So yeah, so communicate if you can, and I will try to do my best to kind of keep you in the loop. So I will publish new information like in the module every Thursday morning. So you'll be able to kind of see what we're doing in class that day. If I Sometimes I try to publish things a little bit ahead of time, but for the most part, I'll be publishing it on Thursday mornings. That way you know what we're doing in class that day. That's also subject to change. It just depends on the flow of the class and how we're feeling as a group, right? Maybe we need more time on a certain project because we're struggling with it, or maybe something is a little bit more labor intensive and we need an extra day, or maybe we roll through something super quick, and we actually add more stuff on to a day, right? So everything that's posted in Canvas and on your modules, it's kind of, it's subject to change just depending on how things go in class. I've had a lot of students last semester at my other schools kind of say, well, you didn't post that on Canvas, so I didn't know I was going to miss that. And that's not really an excuse to miss class. I can always add an extra in-class assignment. I can always add an extra credit opportunity only for those people that were in class. So it's really important that you show up. Homework assignments will almost always be due Thursday at 9:35 a.m., which is when we start our class. So that being said, make sure you give yourself ample time to upload. Everything's typically turned in on Canvas, to upload something into Canvas, and give yourself enough time. Don't start uploading something at 9:34, because if your internet is a little bit slow or your computer's lagging, which happens to me all the time, then if it turns in at 9:36, it's considered late. And I do consider that late. Like if it's due at 9:35 and it's turned in at 9:36, that is late. And you only get one late assignment per semester. So I wouldn't want you to use that one opportunity on something like not giving yourself enough time to upload something into Canvas. So keep that in mind. So homework assignments typically always due on Thursdays at 9:35. Thursday is kind of your day of things being due. Sometimes things are due at midnight and sometimes things are due at the start of the class. I do have some office hours. If you feel more comfortable doing them on Zoom, we can do them on Zoom. But we're in class right before my office hours. So my office hours are Thursdays from 12:45 to 1:15. So if you feel like you need some extra time with me on something, or you want to show me your project and make sure you're going in the right direction, or I don't know, whatever it is, maybe you want to talk about something else, or where what you're majoring in, or what school you're going to transfer to, anything like that. We can always talk about it after class. But if you do want it to be like just me and you want my undivided attention, you definitely have to send me an email or talk to me in class prior to that day that you want to meet. So you can make an appointment. So that way I can kind of cut that off and make sure that it's only for you. So that's on office hours. Here is my email. If there's anyone in class right now that needs an ad code that isn't enrolled in the class yet, make sure you write this down. You also have it on the syllabus printout, but it's csmith2@lbcc.edu. You can always email me no matter what time, what day, whatever you need. So that's there for you. You can also always send me a Canvas message, which is typically easier and it goes to my email. So just like you guys, I have my phone on me pretty much all the time. Your emails come to my phone. So typically I can get back to you within 24 hours during the week. I think the weekend sometimes up to 48 hours. I have a little baby. She's 10 months old, so I'm also super busy. But if you give me all the information in a message or an email, I will do my best to write you back as soon as possible. Okay, so next we're going to go through the syllabus here. We're going to talk about your textbook. And then here's some other steps after we are done with this video. If you kind of want to read about academic integrity, you want to purchase your textbook, download Office 365, and then kind of start the course content that's there. Here's a couple really helpful videos. This is Chantel kind of talking about our design program here at LBCC, which I feel like if you haven't seen it, you should watch this video. It's really important. And then also degree planner introduction. So that we do offer kind of degree direction and planning. And here's the link for the LBCC counseling. I do offer some extra credit towards the end of the semester if you get this done, if you have a session or a meeting with the counselor and kind of just talk to them about where you're going next. Doesn't even have to be totally in fashion. Maybe you want to minor in fashion and do something else too. And if you kind of show me that you did that, I'll give you guys some extra credit. So really great resources here at LBCC. I feel like a lot of us don't even know some of the things exist and don't ever access them, which is such a bummer because they're here and people want to help. So here are some great videos for you guys to look at. Okay, so let's switch gears. Let's dive into the syllabus. And then after that, we'll kind of go through our Canvas and kind of how I set up the class. We'll go through our modules, announcements, that kind of stuff. But this is pretty much your home page. So, it has all the important information of when we're in class, what dates it runs through, my email, and my office hours. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so here is our syllabus, which you guys should have a printout and you should be able to take notes on. You will have a syllabus quiz today that's due next week. So maybe highlight some things or take some notes. Might quiz a lot easier to complete. Just a little hint. Okay, so this is clothing selection. It's fall 2023. Our class meeting information, of course, we know this is an in-person format. We meet Thursdays, 9:35 to 12:45. I will say I'm kind of a stickler for people being on time. I know things happen, there's traffic. I'm commuting from Orange County, there's a lot of stuff that happens, but I will say try your best to be on time. If you are constantly coming in late with your Starbucks and talking on your phone and that kind of stuff, it's just disrespectful and it's really distracting for me and for the other students. So try to be here on time. What I always tell all my students is treat your classes like a job opportunity. Most of our teachers here at Long Beach City actually work in the industry like myself. And I love to take my students that are on time, that, turn in their homework, that have energy, that are passionate, that are excited to be in the classroom, and give them opportunities in the industry. And that's how I got my start, pretty much in the industry from a teacher I had at Long Beach State. So I will say being prompt and on time, coming to class like ready to work is really, really important to me. So I would hope that you guys can treat this almost like it's a job. And really, that being said, like if you're not looking forward to coming to your fashion classes, maybe that's something to look at, because you're one of the few lucky ones that get to study something like fashion. Not every college offers these kind of courses. And not everyone is privileged enough to be able to study something like that's an art, that's in the creative field. So I would hope that you're excited to come to class and excited to learn and kind of be part of this community, which is really special. Something that we have here at Long Beach City. So not only are we in person on Thursday mornings, but we also need to be active weekly on Canvas. There's no Zoom meetings to attend, but Canvas is kind of the other part of our class. You're checking in there on announcements, making sure that you understand the due dates, uploading your homework there, just doing discussions, talking together to other colleagues on there. So that is kind of the other portion of our class. Assignments are typically due Thursdays at 9:35, if not Thursdays at midnight. So typically Thursday, I would say 99% of the time, Thursday is like our day to turn stuff in. So kind of make a mental note of that. Like, I know Wednesday night, I got to kind of make sure that everything is ready to turn in for Fashion 9, so that I don't lose points. Okay. You're going to complete the syllabus quiz this week by Thursday, September 7th. I know it's a holiday weekend, so, if there's extra time in this class today, you might as well sit in class, look at your syllabus, and take the quiz if you have access to a computer, and get that out of the way and just not even have to think about it. That's what I would do. But you do have to complete that quiz by next Thursday at midnight. So I can also remind you guys next Thursday when we meet in person, and I will be in class that day, to take that quiz so that you're not dropped kind of as a no-show. So I want to just make sure that everyone's is committed to being here. There's a lot of students in this class. So that's kind of a way, that's how I kind of filter who's actually like going to be here. Again, here's my full name. This is how you write my name. Okay, this is something else that's really important to me, is if you're going to write me an email, make sure that you're writing my name correctly. Whether it's just my first or my first and last. And then here's my email address once again. Okay, so this course, clothing selection and apparel selection, is based on aesthetic guidelines, cultural influences, quality, workmanship, and consumer needs. This course covers the basic elements and principles of art as applied to clothing and is required for fashion design and merchandising majors. So this is a required class. You want to do well in this class. Honestly, I'm a fashion stylist and I love teaching this class because it really inspires me for what I do on a day-to-day basis. And that's, dress people. Just the elements and the principles that we talk about in proportion and shapes, it really translates to dressing someone, to designing something for someone. So, I feel like it even translates to, doing a window display, like just anything creative, understanding that those principles are really, really important. So this is a really foundational class that I think you're going to build on throughout your educational career here at Long Beach City. Student learning outcomes. Number one, you should recognize ways that clothing communicate culture and society. So we're really going to dive in what our people are wearing, first of all, why they're wearing them, and what they mean in society, right? What they mean to their religion, what it means to their culture, how clothing speak almost for us. So we're really going to dive into that. I'm really excited. A project that we do is maybe something highlighting something from your own culture. I'm from Argentina, so I will talk about the gauchos, which is basically an Argentinian cowboy, and how their specific clothing really serves a purpose, but also tells a part of history. So I really like that aspect of this class. Number two, we're going to analyze examples of current fashions and describe how the basic elements and principles of art are applied to clothing. So this is kind of what I was talking about later, being able to look at outfits and point out different proportions, shapes, lines, hues, color, how it makes clothing stand out and how it's applied to garments. Number three, identify standards of garment construction, workmanship, labeling, and fiber content, which is a basic. We all need to know that, whether you're in design or merchandising. And number four is analyze body proportion to determine silhouette, fabric patterns that will best flatter an individual. So even if you're not going to be dressing anyone, like you don't want to be a designer or you don't want to be a stylist or a buyer, I mean, so many jobs use this, but at least you could use it for yourself, right? I mean, we all have our own style, we all wear whatever we want, but sometimes when we understand how your own body proportions affect silhouette or are affected by fabric and patterns, we can really elevate the way someone looks. So this is a really fun part of this class as well. Okay, so course requirements. We do need this book. It's called The Why of the Buy. We can get the second edition. I recommend, I don't know, I'm kind of torn on this. I love online version. I also love a hard copy version. I think it is, I can't remember exactly how much it costs. I can do some research after this and post it in the announcements, but let's say you find a buddy in this class or you're taking this class with a friend. I totally would encourage you guys to go in on one book together if you can kind of make that work with your schedules. Maybe you switch off every week or something, or you do your assignments together or whatnot. But if you can do that or manage to do that, that's a great way to kind of save some money. Also, buy used, buy hand me down, whatever you can get your hands on. Doesn't need to be a brand new book, but it does need to be the second edition. And then second is the course pack. So you can get that at the Viking bookstore. Here I put the Viking bookstore link. Obviously the course packet you have to get at the Viking bookstore, but the textbook you can get anywhere. So I listed that here. You do need a computer for this course. We do a lot of research online. We do discussions on Canvas. We turn things in on Canvas. We watch some videos. We watch New York Fashion Week. So all those things you do need to have access for a computer. I do believe you can borrow laptops here at Long Beach City. If any of you guys need to do that, reach out to me or Chantel and we'll kind of try to figure that out. I do believe that was an option previously. I have to double check, but you do need some sort of access to a computer, whether that's time in the library, computer lab, that kind of thing. So here's some guidance on the requirements for computer. You don't need to have like, my computer is not super fancy. It just kind of operates, right? Like I have Microsoft Office, I have Canva, I have internet. I can stream videos and that kind of stuff. So here you go. Okay, let's see. Oh, you can also download the Canvas app for your mobile device. Some people love it, some people don't. I can't really get the hang of it. Maybe one of you guys can give me a tutorial. But some people will absolutely love the Canvas app for your phone. I'm also old and I'm not really good with my phone, so that might be part of the problem. But yeah, I think it's good to have it on your phone if you're not with your computer all the time, so you get either my messages or announcements, that kind of a thing, to your phone. Okay, so let's talk about course communication. Number one is announcements, right? We are going to have announcements in Canvas posted on a regular basis. I will try to remind you maybe the day or the day before things are due that they're due, so you don't miss out on things. Probably on like a Wednesday, I'll say, hey guys, this and this and this is due. Don't forget to do this. Or, you know, in 3 weeks, we have our big design book due. Make sure that you're working on it, that kind of stuff. Obviously, I always tell you in class, but I like to send out announcements just to make sure you guys are, you know, kind of taking note and using your calendar. Hopefully you guys all use your calendar on your phone. That's a huge thing that can help. I always put like big due dates in there so that I can kind of, you know, visually see when my stuff or my work is due. So you'll definitely get announcements probably multiple times a week. I'll also send you stuff like fun things that are happening on campus. If we have guest speakers, those kind of things. And then email is really more like a personal message, is more for private messages. Like if you're not showing up to class and I'm getting kind of worried about you, or if I've noticed your grade has gone down significantly and you started out super strong in the beginning, you know, I want to know if something's happening, if you need more time, if I can work with you, or we can make up a plan to make up some work or something like that. So that's more for private stuff or more detailed specific things. So your Canvas inbox or personal email, that's, you know, that's kind of the use I get for that. Also, if you guys have questions, need to ask me specific things, that's how we'll do that. Okay, so here's kind of like a way that, last way of communication is comments in the grade book. So I will, you know, give you feedback on your assignments. Hey, you know, you need to write incomplete sentences, check your grammar, check your spelling. I didn't understand the direction you're going, or this is half done. Do you want to complete it? That kind of stuff. That will be done in your grade book. So that's important to see, because the way I grade not only is that you complete and meet the requirements week to week, but it's also that you're improving on your work, because fashion is all about improvement and making changes, right? So, you know, if you started out the semester and you're really new to this and you're trying your best, and then all of a sudden, you know, halfway through everything drops off, I'm going to notice that, and I'm going to probably give you comments in your grade book to say, hey, what's going on here? I feel like you were so passionate in the beginning and now you're turning in the work just to turn in the work. Is it because you're super busy? Is it because you're working full time? That kind of stuff. So I'll kind of try to communicate with you regarding your work based on, you know, what I see in your assignments with the comments in the grade book. Okay. Email etiquette. So if you are going to write me an email, professional email etiquette is important. It should be professional no matter who you're writing. So less like texty and more like professionally written. Right? So not like, hey, what up, Cam? Like, don't want to show up to school today. Like, can I turn in my work late? That's not really going to work, and I probably won't write you back. So make sure that when you're writing me an email, you write my name correctly. You tell me your first and last name. Okay. I teach at 4 different schools and I have 8 different classes. That means, you know, 8 times 4, that's a lot. 8 times 40, that's a lot of students that I'm, you know, have in one semester. So I like to make sure that I'm getting your first and last name, what class you're in of mine, right? Because I teach multiple classes here at Long Beach City. Is it, you know, FD9, FD210? Like, tell me what class you're taking of mine, and then explain the question that you have for me. If you give me all this information, most likely I can probably get back to you even quicker because I have all the information in front of me. But if you make it really vague and you don't give me the information that I need, it's probably going to either be this back and forth, like, wait, who is this? Oh, your email is, Pumpkin Kitty 320, and I'm not sure what your first and last name is, right? So make sure that you're giving me all that information so that I can get back to you quickly and efficiently, and I don't waste your time, right? Because a lot of times you guys write me, the night before something's due about the assignment. And if we have to go back and forth a bunch of times, then you probably are not going to have enough time to complete the assignment. So if you do write me an email, just make sure you have your first and last name, what class you're from. I'll be able to tell what school you are because it goes to my correct email. But and then tell me, specifically what question you had, whether it's out of a certain chapter in the book or whatnot. Okay. So that's kind of an example if you need to look back on it. I don't think any of you guys will have a problem with this, but just kind of keep that in mind. Okay, so because we have a lot to cover in this class, I'm sure there's always going to be questions about things. And you can always write me an email and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as possible. But if you have a question about something, I would write me an email, but I would also put it in the question and answer forum on our Canvas. Because a lot of times students answer the question for me way quicker because maybe they're working on something or they're on Canvas at the moment. And then you'll get your answer and you can go on with your day. So if you do that, and you respond and give comprehensive answers, I will give the person that responded extra credit points for being, a team player and helping out another student. So if you're ever in Canvas and you see something in the question and answer form and you know the answer to it, respond and I'll give you some points. Okay. We do have a lot of discussions in this class. A lot of them we'll do in person and, when we're in class, but other ones will be done on Canvas. So these are a way for you to kind of engage with each other about course content. I think sometimes we get a little bit shy in class, and that's my job, is to kind of open you guys up and hear your perspective and your opinion. Fashion is subjective. Okay. So, just because I think this is trending, you may not think it's trending. Why is a consumer buying this? Why is this important to fashion? Why is it important globally? Right. So we're all going to discuss our opinions and our perspective in this class, but sometimes we can better voice our opinion online. So we're going to do kind of half and half in this class. So this is a great way to engage. And this, you'll have, all of these in the discussion button in the course navigation. But, to get a full credit in discussions online, you do need to post a thoughtful, well-written response to the question, and you need to respond to your classmates' answers. So, it's just like writing a paper in a sense. You do need to check your grammar, you need to check your spelling, those kind of things. Okay. Okay, so I talked about responding back to you within 24 hours. On the weekend, sometimes it's 48 hours, just depends if I have my baby with me. Sometimes I need a little more time. There's some kind of information or guidance on etiquette. I've never had a problem with, etiquette on discussion boards. You guys are always so nice to each other and so eloquent. But if you want to review that, you can. Obviously, everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has a different style. Everyone expresses themselves differently. So we just try to be respectful here at Long Beach City, and add to the conversation rather than take away. Okay. Participation is essential to your success in this class. So you do need to show up. I will tell you, out of the 3-4 years that I've been teaching, students that show up and are, ready to learn always get good grades in my class, because that counts to me as part of your grade. If you're here and you're trying and you're showing up, I'm always going to help you get to that next grade. So like, if you have perfect attendance and at the end of the semester, you're at an 89 or an 88.9 and you really wanted an A, guess what? I'm going to get you to that A because you deserve it. You showed up, you added to the conversation, you were passionate, you're excited, you motivated others. That is something that I would love to do for a student, right? But if you are consistently failing to participate in class, that doesn't mean not only showing up, but means being on your phone the whole time, never answering questions, never adding to discussion. When that time comes, when you're between a D and a C, I'm probably not going to help you get from a 69.8 to a 70 because you didn't add to the course, right? So keep that in mind. I really, really keep track of that on my roll sheet of like who asked questions, who has, great things to say, input, perspective. I want to learn about you guys. I want to learn about the way you think. I want to learn what's important to you. So really, really important to participate in this class. Also, if you feel like, this class is too much after the second week and you're like, wow, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough time. Life is crazy. I know that. I teach at 4 schools. I have a 10-month-old. I have a lot going on. I also am a stylist full time. And you don't feel like you can get a good grade or give this class your all, make sure that you drop the class by the 10th of September here so that you get a refund at least, and at least drop it by November 8th so you can receive a W on your class. So, you don't get an F on your transcript. Okay. I have so many students that just forget to drop the class and, risk getting an F on your transcript that really could affect you going forward, transferring to another school or whatnot. That being said, I want to kind of talk about cell phones. We're all adults here. You're in college. No one's forcing you, hopefully, to be here. I hope that you're in this class because you want to be in this class, because you have bigger goals, brighter, bigger goals. If you need to answer an important phone call or an important text message or whatnot, you can totally do that. Just get up out of your seat, go outside the classroom, talk, whether that takes 45 minutes or 5 minutes. That's up to you. You're an adult and you can manage that on your own. But I will say, if you are just on your phone scrolling TikTok, Instagram, texting back and forth, whatever you guys do on your phone all day, you're a distraction to me, because I really look to you guys to give me that energy, in the sense of that you're understanding what I'm talking about, or that you're engaged, that you like the content, that we're getting somewhere. And if you guys are all on your phone just scrolling, it's really a bummer to me and to those people around you that are really trying to take advantage of learning them as much as they can here. So if you're on your phone and I continue to see you on your phone scrolling or texting or whatever, I'm just going to ask you to sit outside and do that out there rather than in the class. Yeah, I'm not going to take your phone away. I'm not going to make you put your phone this way or that way. I'm just going to ask you to get up out of the class and use your phone, and then come back when you're ready to not be on your phone. So just know that I'm really strict about that, being on time and turning your stuff in. It's I try to model my class like the industry does. When I'm dressing a celebrity or a client, or I'm doing a commercial, I cannot be texting or scrolling TikTok. I can also not be late showing up to set. And I can't turn in, my rack of garments 2 hours late because I've missed my opportunity at that point. So I try to kind of set you guys up for the real world, in the sense that fashion is really fast paced, and it will gobble you up if you are not on time, you're not prepared, you're not, participating, you're not ready to go. So, hopefully that doesn't rub anyone the wrong way, but you can totally use your phone all day if you want. Just I'll ask you to do it outside the classroom. Okay. Okay, so important dates. You do have a schedule in your syllabus, which we'll look at, but I would honestly say that Canvas is the most up to date with the due dates and like the schedule of the class. I like to kind of pre-plan and make an idea of what we're going to be doing and turning in, and when and how, but it all really is based off the flow of the class. Okay, so if we're struggling with something, we're going to take more time to do that. If we need an extra week for our notebook or a project that we're working on, or a group project, we're going to do that. And now if we go really quickly through something because it was just simple and quick, then maybe I might add something. So really important that you keep up to date with due dates and our schedule and what we're doing on Canvas. That's the most up to date, recent information that you'll get. This is kind of how I grade. Everything's based on points. It's all accumulation of points. So, in theory, the more you turn in, the more points you're going to get, right? So at the end, we'll divide the amount of points that you got with the total amounts possible in the class, and simply get your grade that way. I do encourage you guys to look at your grade, excuse me, every week, if not in my class, and make sure it looks the way you want it to look. Okay, so I'm not saying make sure you have an A or B. If you're going for straight C's, that's amazing. Okay, totally. I mean, when I was in college and I was getting a business degree, I was literally shooting for C's because was my capacity, right? Fashion for me was a different thing. I needed to get 100% because that was like everything to me. But some of my classes, I really just wanted to pass. So I'm just saying I would love for you guys to check in weekly on your grades and make sure that your grade looks the way you want it to look. And if it doesn't, to communicate with me, that means coming up to me in class, after class, on our break, whenever, or emailing me or Zoom. We can do a Zoom meeting and talk about how to fix that grade to get it to where you want it to be. Okay. So, I will say, do not wait until the last 2-3 weeks of school where you didn't check in on your grades the whole semester, and then the last, week before class ends, you're freaking out and you're like, oh my God, I have a C and I really wanted to be, or whatever. Because at that point, it'll be a little bit too late. You really won't have a lot of opportunity to fix that grade. So really important to take advantage of the extra credit that I give you during the semester, and to check in your grade weekly. And I think that you'll be able to achieve what you're looking to achieve. There is rubrics posted on all the big projects. I think mostly assignments too, in order to understand what's expected of you for each assignment. So check out the rubric. There's also a certain level of, especially more on the creative projects in this class, of how much effort and perseverance you put into the project. And that's going to be different for everyone, right? If you do amazing projects in the beginning of the semester and then towards the end you're not doing the level of work I know you can achieve, there's going to be a difference in your grade. So I hope that throughout these 16 weeks, we can continue to get better and better and better, and you can actually make things in this class to put into your portfolio, your professional portfolio, and show an employer an internship one day. So that's my hope. So that's kind of how I grade things as well. Okay, late work. I know every teacher has a different policy on this, but I'm kind of strict. I know, I'm sorry. But it's for your own good. I promise you that. I know life happens and things happen. And typically, if you reach out to me at least 24 to 48 hours before something is due and let me know what's happening, I will work with you on being flexible on a due date, or it's something when something needs to be turned in by. But you do get one late assignment per semester. Okay. So automatically 2 letter grades will be subtracted off of your final score just for it being late. And it needs to be turned in 1 week after the original due date. I know it's kind of strict, but it works. And it's just how I do things. I'm sorry. But okay, so let's just say that you had a horrible week. It was just crazy personal things, whatever, and you weren't able to turn in something. Okay. Let's say you turn it in the week after. Also, for the 1 late assignment, you need to tell me that you're using your 1 late assignment. So you need to email me and let me know. That way I can grade it accordingly. If you don't email and let me know, then I'm just going to give it a 0 because it's going to be turned in late on Canvas, and I give late assignment 0. So make sure that you communicate with me. Hey, I had a really bad week last week, or I just wasn't able to get to it. I'm just too busy, whatever the issue is. And then you'll turn it in on Canvas, and then I'll grade it. So let's just say that a week after something was due, you turned something after letting me know, and you got 100% because you did it perfectly. Automatically, you'll get 2 letter grades off of it. So now instead of having an A, we'll have an 80, right? So instead of having 100, you'll have an 80%, which is a B. Yeah. So just knowing that. So like if you submit something that's C, like a 70%, you'll go down to a 50%. So kind of also, I want you guys to make sure that you're choosing wisely. I'm not saying that you're not gonna have multiple things that you don't turn in, just because a lot of us work. I understand. I'm also, a lot of us have kids or families or other responsibilities. I understand that. But pick that 1 late assignment, something that's worth it, right? If it's something that's 5 or 10 points, to get 20% off of that, I mean, you can totally do it if that's your only thing and that you're going to miss in the semester, but just kind of choose wisely because you only do get 1 late assignment per semester. Okay. Do not email me work. Everything needs to be turned in on Canvas. Very, very important. Okay. I have way too many students and I can't keep track of your work that's emailed to me. And it's just going to be a disservice to you because I'm just not going to be able to get it in time, and I need to have everything in Canvas. Okay. The tests and your final project are the only thing that is not allowed to be turned, like that can't be used as your 1 late assignment. So think about that. Okay. Okay, we talked about dropping, academic honesty, student conduct. I hope you guys aren't plagiarizing in this class. There's some, we do read chapters and we answer questions. If you want to copy something out of the book, just put it in quotation marks. right? And then cite where it's from. We all know we're using the textbook, just cite the textbook. I don't want to give you a 0 for copying something straight out of the book and not putting it simply in quotation marks, right? And if you want to go one step above that, you can just rephrase that information that you want to put into your work. And now it becomes your own word, right? So be careful with that. Really important. A lot of the stuff in this class is really your own creativity, so you can't really plagiarize. But we do have works cited, slides for our projects. And it's really important to credit creators where, it's due, right? Like if you like something from my line, or you love something from my Instagram, or you like the colors from my mood board on Pinterest, just cite that, right? We all get inspiration from everywhere, everything around us, from music, from clothes, from friends, whatever. Just cite that so we know where we get our inspiration from. So that's kind of, that plays on the academic honesty, is just essentially giving the credit to whoever is due, right? There's not really a way that you can cheat in this class. I mean, if you want to cheat on the quiz, it's like syllabus quiz, you can do that, I guess. But no, I'm just kidding. Do not cheat in this class. It's not worth it. This is a creative class. This is an amazing class for you to have for your foundation of your, whether you're going to design or merchandising, you want to understand the principles and the elements of this course. So do not cheat. If I find out you're cheating, you're going to get a 0, and do not plagiarize. Okay. So let's talk about some tips to be successful in this class. Be disciplined. Okay, number 1 tip, manage your time. Okay, I know that's really hard. It was super hard for me in college as well. I didn't really get the hang of it until I did my master's, which really just kicked me to the ground. But you have to be disciplined. Okay, we're going to be in class for 3+ hours every week. Okay, on top of that, you should allow at least 4 to 6 hours to get actual work and reading done. Yeah, you do have to read the textbook in this class. We're going to go over it, but you do need to read the textbook. That is part of the coursework. Okay, so set aside time to complete the things in Canvas, do thoughtful discussions, do great research, mood boarding, all that stuff. I want you to be in this class knowing that you have time to do the work. I've taken classes where I didn't have time to do the work and I tried to smash everything in, and it's just so overwhelming. It gives you so much anxiety. It's not worth it. So maybe you need to take it a different time next fall. But just make sure, like, look at the Canvas course today after my long, annoying video is over, and check out the coursework. Check out how long you think it's going to take you. Just even do the assignments this week, which are very low impact, right? And see, oh, it took me an hour, it took me 45 minutes. Okay, I think I can kind of get through this. This makes sense for my life. I only work these days. This day I can actually set aside time for this class, right? So essentially managing your time, right? You have 7 days out of the week. How many days do you work? How many days are you actually in class? Can you go to the library in between classes and get one assignment done a week? I don't know. Really depends on if you're a good multitasker and you work that way. A lot of people don't work that way. So really kind of take my guidance is that we're going to be spending around 4 hours to 6 hours a week on this class, reading the textbooks, doing inspiration, doing research, watching videos, doing discussions, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Reading announcements, that kind of stuff. Okay, the next tip is following directions carefully and precisely. Really important that you read the directions on the homework before you attempt to do it, because I get a lot of questions like, I don't get how to do the homework, and I'm like, did you read the step by step how to do it? A lot of people are like, oh, I didn't see that, or I skipped over it, I just didn't understand it. So read the directions carefully. If you still have a question, of course, send me a question, send me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Access Canvas frequently, log in 2 to 3 times a week, read my announcements, read the postings in the discussion board, read your text message, stay on top of your coursework. If you get behind in this class on your coursework, you're going to be so stressed out because everything builds on each other. So if you miss the first 3 chapters of the book, and then you're like trying to cram it all in, it's going to be very, very difficult. So kind of try to stay on top of your coursework weekly. Participate in discussions, group activities in class, in the conversation. If you have a meaningful conversation in our class, you're going to remember what we talked about when you go home to do your homework. So if you can participate, it's really going to be helpful. Contact me straight away if you have any questions, if anything is going on in your life you need help with, if you need, some grace with something. Communication is key, and I'm here to help you be successful. Okay, I'm not here to, close the door in your face every single time life, throws something at you. I want to help you, but I can only do that if you can communicate with me. Okay, let's see, where am I? Manage your time efficiently. We kind of talked about that, but I would say definitely if you're not a planner type person, which I totally am, get into your iCalendar or any sort of calendar that you have on your phone and put in those big deadlines or big due dates of things that you don't want to miss. And maybe a week prior to that, a reminder, got to work on my silhouettes, got to work on this, got to work on that, so that you don't freak out the night before everything is due. Okay. All right. Special needs. If you have any sort of disabilities or you need accommodations, I want to do my best at meeting those accommodations and exceeding expectations. I just need to get information from DSPS. So just make sure that you contact them and tell them everything that you need so that I can follow through on that and help you be successful. Yeah. Okay, additional resources. If you have problems with your Canvas, your email, WGSN, I will help you as much as I can, but for the most part, you need to reach out to the technology help desk. That is, the tech desk that's going to help all the students. They're going to help you log back into your Canvas, help you get your password to your email, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Health center, you guys pay for healthcare, I think $19 per semester. So if you need to go to the urgent care, UTI testing, pregnancy tests, STI testing, birth control, counseling, stopping smoking, substance abuse, over-the-counter medication, referrals, go here. It's literally free. It's free. It's free, you guys. So use it. You pay for it. Here's a link. You can click on the Student Health Center and it will give you all the services that they provide. I thought I put this on here, but we also have counseling here. Not only counseling, for like educational stuff, but we also have counseling like therapy. I think it might be through the health center. Therapy for like anxiety, depression, stress management. So all those things, I think you get 6 free sessions for being a student here in Long Beach City. If you're feeling stressed out or anxious or overloaded with your coursework, or you just, you're having a hard time, reach out. If you need help from me, I can help you get that information as well. There are a bunch of resources here at Long Beach City, and most of the time they're not being used. So reach out, we'll get you some help as, to the best of our ability. And it could be really, really beneficial if you're feeling any of those things. Okay, here's our class schedule. We're not going to go over all of it because it's subject to change, but basically this is kind of when things are due, and what we're kind of doing every week. Very simple, general, but the most up-to-date stuff is in Canvas. Okay. Hopefully you don't have any questions on the syllabus. I think it's pretty straightforward, but if you do, you can email me or send me a message on Canvas and I can discuss whatever you need, or you can write your question down on your syllabus here right now in class and ask me next week when we see each other. So, okay, let's go back into Canvas really quick. I won't take up too much more of your guys' time. Okay, so the way I set up the class is like this in modules. I do it week by week. Okay, so here's that question and answer form that I was telling you guys about. If you ever have any questions about the coursework, you can always send me a message, but you can also put it in the question and answer form, and hopefully an amazing student will respond back to you, and I'll give that student some extra credit points, and you'll get your answer super quick. Okay, so we're going to focus here. Week 1, orientation, welcome to class. Okay, I would like for you guys, because you're going to have ample time after this video is over, if you have your computer with you or you can go to the computer lab, go through your Canvas shell, right? Click through all these little things. They're important, okay, to our class. They're not just here to take up space. You will be doing a lot of discussions and I'll teach you I want you to do them. But I would like for you guys to embed your images rather than attaching your images in your post. So I do have a video on YouTube of how to do that. I know it seems really simple, but sometimes it's hard to figure out. So you always have that here. That's in your week 1. It'll always be there and you can always refer back to that. We'll also be making a lot of mood boards. A lot of mood boards in this class. So here's kind of an explanation. I do expect you to read this. What a mood board is, what the purpose of a mood board is, how to create one, what to include, collecting inspiration, where we do that, how we do that. And then there's also a simple, quick, easy YouTube tutorial on how to create a fashion mood board. Okay. Hopefully, I think most of you guys are acquainted with Canva. That's what I suggest all of my students to use to create these presentations rather than PowerPoint or Google Slides. I know some people are super attached to those and love them, and that's great, but it's really hard to be creative on those programs. At least I found for myself. And when I found Canva, I was like, whoa, my brain is exploding because I can make things look the way I want them to look. I can change the color to anything. I have amazing graphics just in their database. I have already set up PowerPoint presentations in certain styles like minimal style, maximalist style, girly, feminine, sporty, street style. I have all these presentations that are basically already made for me. I just need to now put in my content. And it helps you do your homework so much quicker. So here's a little tutorial. Next week, I'm going to log in on Canva and I'm going to show you guys how I would use it. I'm sure you guys are actually probably experts and know how to use it better than I do at this point. But if for any of you guys that don't know, maybe log in Canva, canva.com this week and just kind of poke around, make yourself a student account. That's another really important thing, is use your student email to create an account because they give you some extra things. Log in, play around with it. If you can, your first assignment will be a mood board of yourself. So you can play around there if you'd like and just kind of see how it works and see if you like it. Okay. So you have that there for you to look at. Okay, then we can talk about our homework. Yes, let's talk about our homework next. So your first homework assignment is your personal mood board. Okay, you're going to create a slide or a presentation that's 1 page that basically is a visual representation of who you are, your likes, your interests. Okay, so visually, how do you represent yourself? And this is what we do this a lot in fashion. We don't use a lot of words at times. We visually communicate what our goals are, what we want our line to be, or what vision we're going after. So I want you guys to do this in a very low impact way and about something you know the most about, which is yourself, right? So 1 page, okay, needs to have images. It could have some words or quotes or whatever you want on there. I just don't want it to be like paragraphs of wording. It should really be focused more on imagery. You must submit 1 file. If you do more than 1 page, you can, that's great. But you need to submit 1 file rather than multiple files and as a PDF, okay? I want you guys to create a vibe or an aesthetic that is you, okay? So that is so niche to you that you're going to explain that in class next week. Okay, so I'll get to know you guys next week in the sense that you're going to show me your mood board. I'm going to bring it up on Canvas. And then you're going to present yourself to the class, what your name is, what you would like to be called, basic info, where are you from, what's your age if you want to tell us, what's your dream internship or job, do you work right now, what's your inspiration, style inspiration, fashion inspiration, what are you studying here at LBCC, what are your educational goals, do you want to transfer, are you getting an AA, do you want to go to a trade school, do you want to study abroad? And what's important to you? Is it family, pets, your spouse? These are, some examples of things that you can include, right? What I want to avoid is like, let's say you're obsessed with coffee, is a page full of just pictures of coffee, right? That's amazing. And you can put a couple pictures of coffee, but if you're getting stuck in something like that, maybe go back to this list and make sure you're hitting some of these points so that when you present to the class, you have certain topics to talk about, right? So an image should kind of spark you and say, oh, I put a picture of a Long Beach state flag because I want to transfer there or whatnot. Okay. So here's canva.com. Okay. It's a great tool for you guys, great tool for fashion. It works best with your student email. So here is a way, here's a tutorial on how to make a mood board in Canva. That's quick and easy. And then also here is one of the most amazing fashion stylists, Kate Young, talking about the art of mood boarding and why it's so important. Here are also some examples of past students of how they put their mood boards together. You can tell these are kind of very similar styles, right? Kind of neutrals, feminine, the aspect of nature in there. So lots of pictures, couple words, right? Things that are going to spark, conversation when you present them in our class. Okay. So that's your first assignment. That is due next week, September 7th at 9:35 a.m. You'll see that here. Okay. It's worth 10 points and it should be uploaded as one file as a PDF. Okay. Our next assignment, and this is where I'll teach you about how to embed your images, is a 5-point discussion so we can get to know each other, and that also you can refer back to this. So later on, let's say you sat next to someone in class and you totally forgot their name, but you really wanted to reach out to them because you said you were going to study together or whatnot. You can always come back to this discussion. Hopefully people will upload pictures of themselves. So you can say, oh, that's who it was. It was, Jackie that said that they would study with me. I'm going to reach out to them. They said to reach out to them on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever. So on this discussion, you're going to state your name or your nickname, however you want to be called in this class, you should put here on this discussion. Okay, because this is important to me as well. I would really love to learn all of your guys' names. I might have you guys make, I know it's so lame, name tags for the first couple of weeks until I can visually associate your face and your style with your name, because it's a lot when you have over 300 students. So state your nickname or whatever you want to be called here in this discussion. And then you're going to also state a way to contact you. Now, if that's just your LBCC student email, that's perfectly perfect. Great. But if you'd rather actually get a text message or an Instagram DM or a personal email because you don't check your student email, whatever you're comfortable with, that's what you're going to put here. Okay. And then you're going to embed, see how it's bolded, an image of yourself, or if you don't feel comfortable putting a picture of yourself, something that represents you. So let's go back to that person that loves coffee. Maybe it's a latte, a picture of a latte. And now we're always associating Jackie with lattes because she loves coffee, right? So it's it's a way for us to all kind of get to know each other and remember each other. If you attach your picture, you will lose points. So here again is that video I made about how to embed an image into your discussion post. So you can watch that again. Here you must write back to 2 other students to get full credit. Okay, so let's just say I'm doing the discussion. Okay, I'm going to show you how to put the picture in. So hey y'all. All right. My name is Tammy or Camila. You can reach me at dsmith2 at lbcc.edu. Okay, I'm the worst typer. Don't judge me. Or on my Instagram at the styling assistant. Okay, so I have chosen to put 2 ways to contact me: my email, my student or my teacher email, or my Instagram. So you guys can reach out to me. Obviously for school stuff, you're going to reach out to me email, but let's say I was a student, I would rather get a DM. That's an example of how to do that. And then I'm giving you my nickname or my full name, whatever you'd like. So if I put this here, that means I'm okay with you calling me either Cami or Camila. Okay. Next, I'm going to embed my picture. So typically we always go to this attach, right? I don't want you to attach it because then it doesn't show up in the discussion and people have to download your images. And then, how many people are going to download 40 other people's images? Probably not many. So we're going to embed the image in our discussion post. So if you see here, this little picture icon, okay, I'm doing my best to kind of circle it. You're going to hover over it and you're going to press upload image. Okay, so click upload image. I'm going to, obviously this either has to be on your computer or somewhere where you have your image on here, right? So you can either drag and drop the image, okay? Or you can click to browse your own computer. I will say, if you try to upload like a PDF, it's not going to work. Typically like screenshots or PNG or JPEGs, those work the best. So let me find my crazy computer where my pictures are. Okay, photos. I'll just upload the first picture. I don't even know what it is, but hopefully it's good. Okay, perfect. Picture of me and my family. You can also write alt text. Picture of Camila's family. Okay, I'm submitting that. Okay, and once I submit it, it should embed into my post, which I think it's working on now. Looks like a huge file, so I'm gonna also make it smaller so it's not crazy looking. Once it downloads, okay. Making it smaller. Okay, and now I'm going to post my reply. So now, if you guys see, I'm the first person that added to the discussion. Okay, hi y'all, my name is Cami or Camila. You can reach me at my email, which you can also just click here now, or at the styling assistant on Instagram. Okay, and here's a picture of my husband, my baby, and my cute dog. Got it? So hopefully that's easy enough. 5 points. Okay, do that for yourself. Write back to 2 other students. You'll get 5 points. Okay, next is, excuse me, is your syllabus quiz. Okay, this quiz, I think there's like 5 to 7 questions. Very simple. We went over all of them just now. I'll also post this video in, I think I'll post it here in the welcome to class once it's done. So you can watch it again if you want to. I'm sure none of you guys do, but just in case you need to. So the syllabus quiz is due next week, next Thursday by midnight to remain in the class. So really, really important. Okay. It's very simple. What's the, what are my office hours? Maybe is a question, something like that. Okay. So very, very simple. Should only take you 10-15 minutes. You have an opportunity for extra credit. Okay. Alrighty, you can get 5 points extra credit. You'll get 5 points extra credit if you follow my my Instagram account, which is here. Let's see if it lets me show you guys. Oh, yeah, let me without logging in. Okay, so here's my Instagram account, which you guys can always follow and send me messages or send me cool stuff. This is all the work that my styling students have done. So if you haven't taken that class, think about taking it. It's really, really fun. We do photo shoots. So yeah, really fun class. You guys can kind of look at all the work that my students have done. Oh, it's going to stop me there. But if you follow that account and then also Long LBCC Fashion on Instagram, you'll get 5 points extra credit. Obviously, it's extra credit because I know all of you guys don't have Instagram. So if you do have Instagram and you want to follow those 2 accounts and send me screenshots of both, you'll get 5 points. Okay. All right. Lastly, I posted some semester assignments. So I like to kind of tell you guys about some stuff prior to them happening so you can kind of wrap your head around it. These 2 things are due on the last day of class, which I'll talk about now first. So it's called apparel tracking. And I want you to track all of your apparel expenditures this semester. So anything you buy that is categorized as apparel, shoes, secondhand, thrift stuff, anything that's clothing, apparel, shoes, accessories that has to do with fashion, I want you guys to track throughout the semester. Okay, if you click on here, this is the tracking sheet. Let's see, hopefully it'll show up. Sorry, that's really loud. So it's really, really simple. Okay, the date you purchased it, what the garment was, where you purchased it, and the price. Okay, if you need more than 21, just download another sheet and just fill out that the second time. But essentially, you're going to tell me the total and then times 3, which would be your yearly, how much you expense you would spend yearly, right? Because it's at for 4 months. And then we're going to kind of get a grasp on how much you spend a year on clothes. Okay, so it should be fun, but this is also something that you need to work on throughout the semester. So that's why I tell you guys about it today. So that you can kind of download that on your computer or maybe even print it out if you want. You can always take a picture and copy, and upload that into Canvas when it's due if you'd rather have it, if you would rather write on it in person. So anything that you buy that's regarded to, regards clothing, accessories, shoes, that kind of stuff, you're going to take note of it and you're going to put it in your tracking sheet. Yeah. Then this isn't due until the last day of class, but just so you can kind of get started on it. Then you have a discussion, which is here. Okay. So you're going to track all your purchases and record them in this form, which you have, I just showed you, and turn it in at the end of the semester. But part 2 is you're going to be seeing what you bought and how much you spent. So in one paragraph, you're going to analyze your purchasing habits. Did you buy everything thrifted, secondhand? Did you end up buying everything from a certain store for some reason this season? Were you really excited about all the stuff Abercrombie and Fitch has to offer? Or were you just totally, I don't know, into buying sneakers at Nike, whatever. I don't know, whatever your purchasing habits are. And then let us know if you feel like the economy and being a student impacted the way that you shopped. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but I've started to buy everything, not everything, but a lot, big portion, like 70% of my garments on either Poshmark or thrifted. And it's really been just because I am, the economy and the way I want to spend my money is kind of changing now at my age. I don't know if it's my age or whatever. So I did this apparel spending last semester, and I realized that like most of my money was going towards Poshmark or to Depop or towards eBay or like Goodwill and Savers and that kind of stuff, which was kind of interesting to see. And I haven't done that. I hadn't really spent my money like that for a while. So I want you to kind of analyze what you're buying and how you're buying it and why you think you're buying it like that. Okay. And then you're going to respond to 2 other students. So got to respond in at least 20 words, but should be simple and fun to see what you're spending money on. Okay. And then the last thing, and we'll work on this in class next week because it's due on the 14th. So you have 2 weeks to do this. But essentially, you're going to make a fashion journal, okay? And it's a journal of memories that reflects your most significant garment or accessory items. And this is a way to allow the class to get to know you through your clothing selection. So you're going to make an 8-slide narrated PowerPoint with the following pages in your journal, okay? Slide 1 is always your title page. Slide 2 is your dedication. Slide 3 through 7. So 5 pages of your favorite clothing or accessory purchases. So a lot of people do like, I don't know, special Nike dunks, or maybe it's a pearl necklace passed down from your grandma, or maybe it's a watch that your uncle gave you or something. So just 5 things that you feel like are just things that you never get rid of and that you really hold deeply and closely to your heart, right? So it's kind of like a memory journal, but regarding fashion items. So you're in each page, you're going to include a photo of the item, okay? And then you're also going to describe the item. You're going to tell us when you got it, or like the item, the event. Say maybe you got it for high school graduation, or you got it on your first date, or you got it on your wedding, or whatever. Tell us when. If you can't remember the exact date, maybe the event of when the item was given to you, or if it was worn at some point. The brand of the garment, or the place that it was purchased. Okay, so if you can get that information. And then 4, the psychology of the dress and personal feeling. So the personal feeling part is the most important part of this assignment, right? Why is this Telfar bag important to you? Why is this Vivienne Westwood pearl necklace important to you? Why does it mean something to you, right? Is it because you never thought you could own something and you worked really hard to get it? Is it because it was passed down from, someone that's really special in your life? Is it from your significant other? Does it mean something to you? I don't know what, right? Tell us about that. And then slide 8 is going to be your about page. So this is the page that you're going to tell us about yourself. And I'll leave this up to you. You can either write out something about yourself, or you can put your handy dandy mood board that you created for your first assignment into this slide, right? Work smarter, not harder. And that can be your About You page. So I'll let you figure out how you want to do that. Then you're going to post your PowerPoint to YouTube or post an MP4, and you're going to put it into the discussion here. So here I put a video on how to do a PowerPoint into a video. A lot of people like to do it on Zoom, like myself. I like to share my screen and show my because I like to do Canva instead of PowerPoint, show my Canva and narrate that, and just record it and download it. And then I most likely will upload that into my YouTube, so then I don't lose the video, and then put the link or embed the video into the discussion. And I'll show you guys how to embed the video into the discussion next week. So we can figure that out. Okay, and then part 3 is comment on 5 other students' fashion journals. Your comments must contain at least 20 words. We'll also, when this is due, you'll pick one item to share to the class, and we'll talk about that item in class on the 14th. So think about which item that you want to share with the class. You can even bring it in if you'd like. That'd be cool. And here's also an example. So this is Pearls. Okay. This is an example of how you could do your presentation, right? So you can play it, you can listen to how it was described, you can see the picture, and that's just kind of an example to go off of. Okay, so I know you guys will probably have a lot of questions over this. This is due in 2 weeks, so I wanted to introduce it. Maybe this week you can start your presentation, your title page. You can pick maybe the 5 items and take those pictures. And then maybe next week we can talk about it again, and you can write out the description and you can fill out all this information. And we'll go from there. Okay. I think, let's see, did I get everything? I think I got everything. Yep. So semester assignments, you'll see here, those are the things that we should be working on, right? That are not due now, but will be due soon. You have your extra credit that get connected, you have your syllabus quiz, and you have your 2 homework assignments that are due next week, the mood board that you'll also present in class next week after I present my personal mood board. So I'll present mine to you guys, and then you guys can all present yours to the class. And then our first discussion, let's get to know each other. Very simple, but it also will be a test in, embedding your image into your post and just making sure that you know how to do that going forward. Okay, I think, last but not least, announcements. You'll see I've already posted a couple of announcements. So I'm looking for a note taker in this class. If anyone is interested, please click on the announcement. You'll have to apply for it. It's a great thing to have on your resume. You're also doing good for our community. So looking for a note taker in this class. A reminder on the syllabus quiz and that kind of stuff. So always be announcements here under the announcements tab in Canvas. Okay, I think, gosh, is that it? Okay, hopefully I didn't bore you guys too much, but that is it. I'm so sorry I couldn't be there today, but I will be there next week. I hope you guys have a great weekend, Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. I can't wait to meet y'all. And I'll see you soon. Please reach out if you need any help, need anything. If you need an ad code, reach out to me. But I will see you guys in a week. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.